Hey guys, what's going on? It is DJ with my brother Jeremy here. So it's been a while. I've been trying to shoot an update video for, I don't know, the last month or so, but just been so preoccupied with trying to reinforce our land here in the Philippines. You guys follow us on Instagram or stuff like that. We usually post updates on there because it's much easier than putting up on the YouTube because the connection here is terrible. Yeah. That's another reason as to why we haven't really been able to upload, because of the freaking 0.5 up and down here.
Yeah, the download speed is like alright to like be using the apps, but when you try to upload things, it's way too long. Especially if you have like a 1 gigabyte file. That will not even go.
You'll see that in a year.
Like you can upload Instagram stuff. Okay, it's probably a couple MB, but our videos are about like 500 to 1 gigabyte,
and sometimes over that.
Yeah, that's why we aren't able to upload here.
And aside from that, we have had to deal with a lot of stuff with our land. So the best advice we could give to you guys living anywhere in the Philippines, especially in the province like we are:
survey your land.
Yes.
Close it off.
So the problem was our family, we're pretty giving. You know, we understand that not everybody has the certain advantages that we do. So we tried to provide something to our neighbors, which was a shared driveway, or like a shared agiana street. Yeah, exactly, shared street. And the problem is they started inviting and also not controlling the people who were coming in and out that were using it to park their vehicles. And
it's something that we can't fully blame the neighbors to a certain point.
To a certain
extent, you know, they sometimes have to go to work and then they can't tell everyone that's passing by, but like, you know, word spreads really fast here. So if
small town,
yeah, they say, oh yeah, they're allowing us to use this path to park our boats and then go in and out with our boats, that's gonna get through town, so more and more people will start coming through.
Because that's exactly what happened. And then these guys that are on the boats are pretty much the biggest issue because they're not from here, okay?
Not all of them.
Not all of them, but the thing is that's the thing. They're not from here. Why are you using the place to park your vehicle when that's not yours to begin with? That's like, even the neighbors wouldn't park their vehicle in the middle of our street. Yeah. So what gives these other people the right to do that? That's blocking. You're trespassing already. So we had an issue with that. We tried to, you know, talk to them numerous times. We're not gonna say.
I think what caught them off guard is like us trying to figure out who they are and where they're from.
Yeah.
Because if they are coming through our place, that's a private street. If they're coming through our place, we kind of have to know who they are.
Yeah.
It's not really like a subdivision, but like it's like that thing. Like,
but it's ours. Like we actually own that, or at least a piece of that.
So like, you know, it's just for security purposes, so we don't have to be like, hey, what are you doing here at like 12 in the morning?
Yeah.
What are you doing here at 2 in the morning? You know, we just need to know who you are so that we can have more a sense of safetyness and comfortability, knowing that okay, this guy's coming through and it's fine. But
because we're right there on the seawall, it's very hard to regulate who comes through.
Yeah, and it kind of just got worse from there when I started asking, I guess, the wrong person the wrong question on who they are.
You guys can hear that. I don't even know. There's always something going on in the background.
Someday.
Sorry about that.
Someday.
And after that, it just started escalating. Okay.
Yeah.
Jeremy and I, like we said, the word it wouldn't be confront because we're not like confronting in that way. We're just asking who they are. And
but they take that the wrong way.
Yeah, because of the way Jeremy and I come at them, it's a little bit more like straightforward instead of like hi, oh, thank you. You know, it just kind of got to a point where one night we got harassed at the house. Like, so we're on the phone with our buddy Ariel, who's from Manila. What's up, Ariel? Shout out to the Batch Manila. We have yet to try their baked goods, but hopefully soon. And we're talking to him, and he was talking to us about doing the pader. So pader is a wall fencing, you know. And he was talking about how he had plans to do it, so we should do it as well, because that's always the problem here in the province. It's boundary lines. People will just, what they do here is they will plant coconut trees and then say that's the boundary line. And if you guys have seen our videos, these trees were like staggered, you know, and then our land, it turns out to be slanted. So what we thought was ours was not really ours. So okay, we gave that to them. But then what we knew was ours, they're still complaining about the fact that we're going to close it off. So one night when we're on the phone, like we said, with Ariel, he was talking about the Badr. We finished the call and then, you know, said good luck with everything. Then we talked to our mom and dad, and then it just out of nowhere, two dudes.
They're two fishermen
that parked their boats there. They're not from there at all. Came there and then were just causing a disturbance. You know, like I was trying to tell Jeremy to chill. He was doing his best to chill, but they're like shaking our gate. So it might look like to people that like they're coming in through a way, and it's like, okay, what's the problem since they're just coming through a way?
That entire street is
private.
It's
like,
ours. Even the gate is. They're like, oh, if you didn't step through the gate, that's not trespassing. It is because we own everything from the street to the front of the highway.
Yeah.
So like, they're already trespassing when they walk through.
He would have been okay if he stayed on the neighbor side and was calling at us. So then we could have just called. I mean, we did call the cops eventually.
But the thing is, it's like, when we try to ask what do you need, he's like, oh, come here, you know.
Yeah, and it's dark.
I want to talk to you in the dark. I'm like, nah, bro, right here. You're already trespassing, just talk to us.
And so like this is more traumatized for Jeremy, so that's why I'm not gonna like. I'll elaborate more
because I'm like kind of an angry boy. I just try to let it go.
And so that happened, and then the neighbors are trying to stop him, and we're telling the neighbors this is exactly why we need to fence this.
Yeah.
You know, I even held out as long as I could to like not put that fence up and give him a chance. But then at that point, when my brother was getting, you know, I mean, we're both getting harassed, but you know, that's my little brother. So we had to go through the process of starting to fence this thing up, and you guys will see footage throughout this video of like what the work has done so far.
Yeah.
These workers A+. We'll mention their names towards the end of the video.
But even that too was a whole nother problem.
Yeah.
So we got to run around for a whole month with the certain workers, not our workers, but from municipal,
other people,
LGU, different parts of like government, and it was like, why? We went through things with private engineers and stuff.
They did it right away.
Right away, 3 days.
And it's the thing is like they told us that we have every right to close.
Yeah, and then we kept going to barangay meetings. We had like freaking, what do you call those things? Hearings.
Hearings, yeah.
And they're just like always complaining like, oh, these kids did this, these kids did that,
and there's no proof.
No,
we have. We
still,
have the proof. Me and Jeremy record everything on our head.
We have our GoPro, but that's the thing. We're not trying to release that kind of footage because even still, we don't want to release that footage because it's too much of like those things where like, you know, it might traumatize certain people, and we don't want that to be on the channel.
Yeah,
you know, that's just evidence for us if someone tries to come at us again. I mean, no, it's all here.
So it's I guess he's right. We're just doing that out of respect for people.
Yeah,
but
that's the thing. We're not trying to expose people.
We got harassed, and then we went to the barangay. We got like it's kind of like a restraining order, but these guys had to stay away from us. And that worked out in itself. We shook hands at the end of it, but hopefully that will literally be the end of it. So thankfully we haven't had any issues ever since then. Yeah. But now with our silingan, that's a whole different issue as to where we're padering, because they were adding to the stress of already us trying to fence off our lot.
Like, and if you make an agreement, don't back out of it, or don't, what do you call it? Don't be threatening people. Don't be, trying to add more stress by like talking shit about the workers, talking shit about us by putting the stuff up. No. If you agreed to something,
be quiet.
Go by the agreement. Leave it alone. That's why it's like, if you void something, cut it off.
Yeah.
Right.
So we have every right to close that off if we catch anybody parking there, because that's still. This is how funnily the land is set up.
We'll show, like, maybe, hopefully we could have like screenshots of like,
and also video
our survey, the land survey, and then like where our lines.
Literally, if we went by the survey, our line would cut them off of an Agiana.
Yeah.
Because that's just how it is. Like that's literally our property line. So that's not our fault. Yeah. It's whoever, decided to parcel out the land like that. I don't know whose fault it is, but that's just how it is. And we're still nice enough to give them the right to go on that street to get in and out. But the thing is, the second that we catch any of them abusing that, which is letting people in, parking in the middle, especially since our car is an Expedition, which is huge,
It's a wide body boy.
Yeah, if we catch anybody there,
yeah,
that thing's getting closed off all the way for sure. So we've had to deal with that, and we've been to the barangay more times than we have ever been going back here to Dayan, where our mom is from. Since we're kids.
Just the fact that they gave us the runaround, thinking that these kids have to leave soon. They gotta do this stuff. They plan all that shit like preemptively, So they say, it should take 3 days to process all the paperwork. It took a whole month and like a few days.
Well, thanks to our cousin, Kuya Francis. He's the one that helped us.
Thank you.
Process all this paperwork within a couple of days.
Yeah.
Ever since people have been giving us the runaround, he's a really great architect. If he's comfortable enough with us linking him in the description, we will do that because architect, engineer, everything like that. He's
worked on stuff in Cebu.
Exactly.
Like big projects.
And this stuff apparently to him is nothing. And having to deal with these issues of getting the runaround. So. Thanks to him. Also thanks to our Kuya Jera for starting this whole thing. He had been with us since the beginning of starting to kind of close this.
Yeah.
And then everyone else that came to help with building up there. Our parents, of course, just supporting and listening to us and hearing our concerns and stuff like that. We know they're having their own struggles in the U.S. trying to sell the house and just trying to move forward with their life here in the Philippines.
Speaking of that, that's another thing is like people should not base their news off of one source.
Yes.
Not just here, like everywhere. Like if it doesn't come from us, then it's not really true. Most likely.
We have everything recorded, so just if you have
and
something to say, just come to us and we'll show you.
Yeah, we're open to talking about stuff like that. We'll be open to people if they just ask the right questions.
Yeah. Because in the U.S., obviously here it's very different. You're always with family and stuff, but they don't realize that we come from a different upbringing. And in the U.S., when it's just the four of us, like we all have our own space to think. Here they're very family oriented, and we can respect that. We're very family oriented, but we also have like the individuality between the four. So
I want to start my own family.
Exactly. Like we need some room.
I'm okay with providing for everyone else that comes through and that's living with us, but I want to start my own family.
But eventually that's gonna change.
Yeah. So, because in all honesty, like the more and more we spend here, the less and less it'll be for our future. For his family, for my family. That's what we're trying to look out for. Our parents, we're trying to look out for that because we're the main four, right? So we're trying to look out for each other and then everyone else after. Because if we keep looking out for everyone else, no one will do that for us.
Well, shout out to Momogo and
that's why we appreciate it
because they're letting us.
We don't want to overstep boundaries.
Yeah.
So.
And then aside from that, we haven't been doing YouTube. So Jeremy has been doing what?
Cryptocurrencies, bro.
Investing,
Bitcoin,
stuff like that. Just look at our faces real quick.
Young, bro.
Look,
we've been through some shit, bro.
Yeah, so we've been doing that because we're thinking about the future. At this point, we really have to start looking forward.
Yeah.
We're eventually gonna go back to Manila. That's not
invest in stocks, ETFs, mutual funds, everything.
We're gonna have to get properties.
Like, how are they doing that here? It's possible.
Yeah, but we need to get to Manila because we're also looking at properties as well.
I'm saving my shit for Manila.
Yeah. You curse a lot in this video, man.
I'm sorry, dude. I can't hold it in.
Yeah.
I can't hold it.
He's a potty mouth. Yeah, so we've been doing that because that's like we have to extend our portfolio because it's hard for us to accept certain work, like as far as sponsorships, especially for the channel because of everything that's been happening here. It's like every single day there's something going on that's not really like something that we can just ignore. Like we have to just keep this expenses, and then also issues. But
and I've seen like a few messages too, like, oh, you're still doing music? You still doing vlogs? Yeah, we have vlogs ready. We have like 15 vlogs ready.
So many.
But then my laptop broke. We still have. I got music lined up. Like These Trials, that album, it's finished being written. I have another idea of another album called Bloodlines. That's already pretty much done too.
But that laptop broke also.
That MacBook broke. So it's like we need to get to Manila because we can't get new laptops here because it's just gonna break again.
Because he bought a battery for the MacBook, It still didn't work.
It still didn't work.
You know, and the power here is just crap. So we just need a couple months in Manila to kind of recuperate. It's nice and all to be here. This is like the retirement town.
Yeah.
But in order to move forward,
we really need patience down here. And
patience and money.
That stuff like wears thin. You both patience and money. It wears thin when you're down here. So that's why we gotta we have to recuperate some things when we get to Manila.
It's just so many things that we really couldn't update you guys as much for the last month, but hopefully you guys see this, and we can't wait to start uploading and just start, I don't know, doing something other than having to worry about closing off our land, because right now that's probably the biggest priority for us.
That's the biggest priority, and then
because our land is like, it really, we're not, what do you call it, like saying not to go, but it's huge, so we need to close it in. We need to protect it.
People take our coconuts. People plant shit on that land. Like, and, you know, we're kind of far from the front of the highway, so it's like this is the front of the highway. We're all the way back by the river. So it takes.
That's like 60+ meters.
Yeah, it takes like about a minute from the house to the highway. You know,
if
I run maybe like 10 seconds. But thing is like you have to take time to get up and then inspect who's there, and it gets, what do you call it, redundant. So why not just close it off?
That's why we put a nearly 7-foot wall going all the way down 15
7 feet
meters.
high and then freaking 60+ meters.
And that's only one side.
Yeah.
It's only one side. We're still working on there's a whole other issue on the other side of our lot, which we'll explain in the future. But
so many things, man. Like I said in my Instagram post, like I just wanted to do music. I just want to do things like YouTube shit, but real life hits. You know, it's so shitty, but you know that's the stuff you got to deal with.
I mean, it's shitty, but then we also remember that there's a lot of people going through stuff now.
Yeah.
In the U.S., there's a lot of people losing their houses, their jobs.
I'm not
people
complaining.
I'm just saying dying. I don't know. I'm saying that's what we remind ourselves, so we don't feel as bad.
Yeah, for sure.
We always respect the fact that we are able to get up every day and handle these challenges. Aside from not waking up, you know, which would we rather have?
That's true.
And you know, this is just an update, a ranty update, but that's pretty much what we've been going through for like the last month.
Almost 2 months.
Almost 2 months now, because we're going into March. Oh crap! This is actually the last day of February.
Yeah.
Okay.
If this goes up on March 1st.
And our mom has been on the phone with us. I did not even realize. Sorry, Mom. We're shooting a video. And anything else you want to add to this update?
Oh shoot. No. We'll talk to Mama.
Okay. So with that being said, you guys, we hope you stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you guys in the next video for sure.
Yeah. Okay, I was about to just. Okay, buddy.